to Live with Heather Vickery. I'm your host, Heather Vickery. I'm a transformation coach who helps you get from where you are to where you want to be by learning to embody joy, prioritize yourself first, and lead as a conscious leader. I do that mainly through human design, subconscious reprogramming, which is NLP, and a bunch of tools and modalities that are designed to help you get to know yourself really well, accept yourself exactly as you are, work with what you've got, and then prioritize your joy, your well being, and your peace. Because here's what we know for sure: when you do those things, you show up differently into the world. You engage differently, you interact differently, and the people around you respond differently. We can't change anyone but ourselves, but when we change ourselves, the people around us change. See, that's how it works. So, all of the things that you are looking to grow into in your life, it starts with you and it starts right now. It starts with you deciding that you are willing to control the only thing you can control. And if you've been here before, you know what that is. What is it? The only thing in the entire world that you can control is yourself, your own thoughts, choices, actions, and behaviors. That is the only thing you can control. Now, I work with people all day, every day on taking radical responsibility for themselves. And that is a difficult thing to do because it means that we are we are saying that we are in control of ourselves, that we're choosing what's happening, that the world is not happening to us. All the things around us are not happening to us. We have some say. Now look, there are a lot of crazy things happening in the world right now, and especially here in the United States. There are a lot of bad things happening that are beyond your control. But what can you control? Your own thoughts, choices, actions, behaviors, right? So, what you choose to make meaning of, what you choose to believe is true, how you decide you're going to show up and behave and be in a space, the action you will take, the thoughts you will have, how you will care for yourself. Joy is a revolution. Embodying joy is an intentional act of revolution, because the people who are not for you, they want to take your joy away. The people who get mad when you set boundaries, when you prioritize yourself, when you take the time for you, they are not for you. You don't have to listen to their stories and their nonsense. We live in a world where society has put so many rules and expectations on us, and we've allowed it. Maybe we didn't know we had a choice. Maybe we spent years and years and years not realizing that there was another way to be. But you're here with me right now, and I don't know why or how you showed up in this space, but I'm so glad that you did. And what I want to tell you is that there are other options. There are other things you can do. There are other ways to be. You can prioritize yourself and still be a wonderful caregiver and a loving, kind, compassionate person. You can set boundaries and be kind. You can ask for what you want and need and still be thoughtful and considerate of other people. You can be joyful and still angry and sad and frustrated. All of these things can happen at once. We live in a world filled with mixed emotions. You can be grateful. You can practice active gratitude while knowing that there is a lot of shit going on that a lot of people are not grateful for. Your gratitude, your joy, your peace does not take away from anybody else. And even more importantly than that, we need you to be grateful and joyful and peaceful and hopeful, because that collective energy is going to be what helps us get to the next level of whatever we want and desire in our lives and in the world and for our communities and for the people around us. And sometimes we find ourselves in unfixable situations. Maybe it's personally, maybe it's professionally, it could be all sorts of things for you. But inevitably, life is going to throw us into situations that are beyond our control. Places where it doesn't matter what we do, how much we try to fix it, how hard we try to fix it, the reality of the situation remains unchanged. And in fact, in those cases, often the harder we work to fix it, the less likely it is that we're going to make an impact. We just make things worse, right? Sometimes you have to just step away from an unfixable situation. I am a divorced parent. I got a divorce almost 11 years ago. I have 4 children. And it appears in my life that I will not be able to unwrite the villain narrative there, at least until folks involved grow up and become adults who can see things from different perspectives. I can't fix that. That's what happened. Um, there's an emotional ripple effect that happens when you choose a divorce, and I live with those consequences every day. And some days I almost think that those consequences are going to eat me alive, like almost like a monster that is just going to open its mouth and suck me in. Sometimes it feels really heavy. And then I try to remember what I do with people and for people all day long. Radical responsibility for myself. The only thing I can control and change are my own thoughts, choices, actions, and behavior, right? This is a guiding light for me. It is a lamp post. It is a candle. It is a hope. It is a tiny spark of something. I can't change other people's perspectives or what they think or what they do or what they feel. I can only do what I know is best in this moment for me. I can only be kind. I can only be as honest as I can be, right? So beating myself up over it doesn't fix it. Overcompensating doesn't fix it. Trying to explain myself doesn't fix it. I just have to live my own honest, integral life to the best of my ability and hope that eventually that's enough to get through. But what do we do when we are in the midst of an unfixable situation? How do you navigate something that is completely static, unchangeable? You don't have any control over that. The very first thing is to build a foundation of self compassion. Kristen Neff's work in self compassion changed my life. If you're not familiar with it, I urge you to get to know it. Your body doesn't know the difference between compassion that you give yourself or compassion somebody else gives you. And just like the foundation of being embodied with your joy, choosing your happiness, being radically responsible for yourself, choosing self compassion is a power play. It is also a revolutionary act to be tender with yourself, to say, I've done the best I can and that's the best I can do. Or to ask yourself, why am I feeling angry about this? Get curious about all of your thoughts and your feelings and your emotions, not judgmental with them, just curious. Ask them questions, learn from them, and go, oh, that's a totally normal emotion. You can give yourself self-compassionate touch. I do that, especially when I'm feeling particularly stressed or triggered and my my sympathetic nervous system is like on fire. You can do this. Hand wringing. You'll catch me a lot of times. If you're with me, there's a lot of time where I'm rubbing my hands together. That is a self-compassionate touch move that helps me stay grounded and centered. This is one I love also. When I wake up in the morning, I often will just sit and breathe and hold my face tenderly as somebody who loves me deeply and say, I love you. You're okay. You're safe, right? We cannot change or control anyone around us, but we can change and control ourselves. And especially when we are surrounded by things that feel insurmountable, static and stuck and gross, and we don't want anything to do with them. The most powerful, empowering thing you can do is get honest with yourself about your own thoughts, choices, actions, and behaviors. Honest reflection is powerful. If you are a writer, write it out. If you're a journaler, journal it out. Maybe you want to talk to a recorder, like to your phone, right? Just speak out loud. Maybe you want to bullet point it. Maybe you want to dance it out. Maybe you want to talk to a friend, a coach, a mentor, your neighbor, whatever, right? And just speak it out, but be honest about what your feelings are on a day to day basis. This is actually part of the BRAVE method, which is my own creative, strategic approach to problem solving, dreaming, designing, building, and actually having a life that we are madly in love with. I wrote a book about it. It's right here. It's called Fuck Fearless. There's a sticky note on it. Fuck Fearless, Making the Brave Leap. I wrote a book about it. You want to grab it? You can go to the link in my bio. Um, the Brave Method is amazing, right? It is an approach to every element of your life that can truly help you take radical responsibility for yourself and shift where you are to where you want to be. It is a series of small, intentional, inspired action that compounds. It's the compound effect. Big things don't happen in big steps, big things happen in small steps. Some of the other tools and strategies that I use and that you can use when you are in an inflexible, unfixable situation. We talked about honest reflection. However, you want to do that, super, super powerful. I have some worksheets. If anybody wants one, send me a message, send me a DM, email, whatever you'd like. And I'm happy to share some reflection questions with you. I have clients, even corporate clients, big partners in giant firms who use these on a weekly basis and are always surprised what they discover when they take the time to sit and ask themselves honest questions and then really receive those honest answers. The next thing is subconscious reprogramming. So I mentioned that earlier. I am certified in NLP, subconscious reprogramming, hypnotherapy, time techniques, EFT tapping, all of that. And what I love about subconscious reprogramming is that it gets down below the surface. If you think of your conscious as not your conscience, your conscious, your mind as an iceberg. The part that you see is your conscious mind. It's the part that you're aware of, that you're cognizant of, and the rest of it, which is huge, is your subconscious mind. And let me tell you what, your subconscious mind runs the show. It's why you can think I I don't have any worries or issues about money, and yet you make scarcity financial decisions. It is why you think, but I've done so much work. I'm so confident. I'm so strong, and yet you're afraid to take up more space. Right? Your subconscious mind will really mess with you in a big way. And subconscious reprogramming allows us to rewire your subconscious mind. And what I love about it in most cases is it's easy to do. It doesn't take a lot of time, and you do not have to, in most cases, not in all, but in most cases, you do not have to associate directly with a moment or a memory, which is a real gift. So, timeline techniques, we can go back, we can release negative emotions, negative decisions, limiting decisions. We can swish patterns of behavior so that you can stop behaving one way that you don't want and start behaving in a way that you more want to behave. I'll give you a silly example. When I was in training for this, we had to practice on one another, and so I decided I wanted to stop drinking Diet Coke because I'm like, that stuff's going to kill you eventually. And we did the swish technique, and I have had half of a Diet Coke since then. I like sought it out, and I was like, I don't like it. That was almost 2 years ago. So it works. I've done it with clients who, in one or two very specific situations, struggle with confidence. We did swish, and then they come back 2 or 3 weeks later and say, you know what? That hasn't happened like that. I can't believe it. I'm not doing that anymore. I didn't even realize it. And that's the power of your subconscious mind. Is it's not You're not supposed to do these techniques and then think about it. You're supposed to move on and let it go and let your subconscious do the work. So also subliminal audios. I have a series of incredible subliminal audios on my website right now that you can purchase. They're very cheap, $21 maybe, 24, I don't know. Hour long audios, and subliminal audios are great because you just play them in the background and they do the work on your subconscious mind while you're busy doing other things. It's a nice, easy, low hanging fruit, simple way to take intentional action, but to not have to um, associate with anything specifically. So we can do time techniques, hypnotherapy, EFT tapping. If you haven't done EFT tapping, I'm a really big fan of that. In fact, I'm trying to decide. So if any of you are actually here in the audience, I would love to hear your input. I'm hosting the Chicago Empower Breakfast tomorrow. We have an incredible speaker. I had mentioned that earlier, Shannon Lynn Parker from Brave Space Alliance. We have an incredible MC, Jessica. If you're here watching, I'm so excited to have you do this. And I'm contemplating leading the group in a guided EFT tapping meditation, just like 3 or 4 minutes of it. But that is a very untraditional thing to do at a networking event, and which, quite frankly, is very on brand for me. I'm a rule breaker. I don't do anything really very traditionally, and so I'm wondering, if you were at this event, how would you feel about being guided through the EFT tapping meditation? Are you familiar with EFT tapping? So EFT tapping is really great because what it does is it stimulates your parasympathetic nervous system. We tap on all of the meridian points. So I'll show you what those are. We start on the karate chop point, then you go to the inner eyebrow. You can do one side or the other or both. And then you go to the outer eyebrow, under the eye, under the nose, under the chin, the collarbone. You find your collarbone and go to the soft spot right below, under your arm and the top of your head. And we start on the karate chop point by releasing something negative. So let me take you through one right now. I'll just make one up right now. And I'll do it specifically about whether or not I should have the confidence to do the tapping, the guided meditation. So even though I feel unsure about whether or not um, the audience would be receptive to hearing my guided meditation, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Even though it is scary to get in front of people and do things differently than they're used to, I trust myself and I know that I always have the right answers. And I know that the people around me love me and support me. Even though it can be really scary to put yourself out there in a new and unusual way, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. I'm going to the inner eyebrow. It's safe to trust myself and to take up space. Outer eyebrow. I trust that what is meant for me will always find me and that everything I choose responds. The outcomes adjust as abundance flow. I'm going to the under eye. I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. It is safe for me to try new things and explore new options. Under the mouth. People can invite you in to change their lives if they do not know what you have to offer. It's time to show them. Under the collarbone, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. I trust myself to explore and to try new things and to put myself out there and know that everything will work out perfectly. Under the arm, everything is always working out for me. Outcomes adjust as abundance flows. Top of the head. No matter what happens, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right. So I hadn't really planned to take you all through a tapping meditation, but thank you for sitting with me. It was very specific to me, although if it spoke to you, feel free to use it. I create custom scripts for people all the time in my Spark Collective, which is an $18 a month membership where we do weekly journal prompts and community support. I have a content library with some EFT tapping meditations to help you in all sorts of ways. So we were just talking about subconscious reprogramming. We've got subliminal audios, hypnosis, time techniques, EFT tapping, open office hour every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Come ask questions about it. Let's see if it's a good fit for you or not. Or do your research, whatever that looks like. Okay, more tools on how to navigate an unfixable situation, an unfixable, unflexible situation. Ask for help. Oh, my love. You are allowed to ask for help. We are not on an island. We are not a monolith. We are not designed to experience the world completely on our own. Just because you think you can do it all doesn't mean you should do it all. It is okay to ask for help. There is no weakness there. In fact, it is all strength. I learned that when I was going through my divorce, and I had to have help. I couldn't do it all. And guess what? People were delighted to say yes. They were so kind and they were so generous. And when they needed help, they asked me, and I was so delighted to say yes. Asking for help begets a community of support, and we must be a community together that shows up for one another, that lights one another up, that says, yes, I see you, I honor you, and I want to support you, even if I don't completely understand you. Even if you process and move through the world differently than I do, that's okay. There's room for us. And let me tell you, I process way differently than everybody. I am a projector in human design. Hey, Kat, how are you? Which is, I live in a generator world. If you don't know what human design is and you want to, it's a modern scientific self discovery system that helps you live into your highest self and be aligned. We can talk about that on Tuesday, open office hours, 12 p.m. Central as well. If you're curious, if you want to know more, I love human design. It changed my life. And as a projector, I am designed to rest before I am successful. We do not live in a world like that. I live in a generator world where everybody's get things done, go, 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 hustle, hustle, hustle. And it's not the way that I function. And for the first 45 years of my life, I just really thought I was broken, that I didn't know how to do this life thing, this business thing, this anything. Even though I was successful, I felt like it was never good enough. And then I learned about my human design and I was able to understand myself in a whole new way. Changes the way I parent, changes the way I coach. I use it as a tool and a resource to directly support clients and ask questions that can help them discover their own truths more easily. I do it in my retreats. I'm hosting a retreat in January in Costa Rica. I would love to have you join us. It's a Reclaim Your Peace retreat. It's all about taking time for yourself, to show up for yourself, to sit with yourself, to expand and explore. Oh my God, I'm so excited for Costa Rica. But we'll be using human design there and subconscious reprogramming and NLP there because you deserve to create space for yourself. And regardless, today's topic is about how to navigate unfixable situations. Choosing yourself is one of the ways that you can do that. Choosing yourself helps you have what you need, fills your cup, gives you resources to survive things that feel like perhaps they are unsurvivable. You've got what you need. I believe in you. Another great tip to navigating these moments is to disengage for a moment. Maybe you're watching some trash TV. I cannot even tell you in the last 2 months how much trash TV I have watched. I've watched every Netflix movie that's come out in the last 3 years. And I'm not a big TV watcher. Normally, I read. Normally, the way that I care for myself is to read books. But there was a couple of weeks there where I couldn't even focus on a book. But maybe it's watching TV, taking a walk, reading a book, painting. I am not a very good artist, but I actually love painting because it's meditative for me. If I'm really focusing on it, I don't think about anything but the painting for however long I'm in that process. And it doesn't matter what my finished product is. That's not the point. The point is that I was able to disengage my brain and to rest, which is a gift. If you are a meditator, meditate. If you are not a good meditator, and for many, many years I was not, and I'm still not a long term meditator, I'm about a 20, 30-minute meditator at max. But EFT tapping is a great meditative tool. So we did that earlier. For those of you that were here, I took you guys through a guided EFT tapping meditation. Again, if you're part of my Spark Collective membership, we have these in the library. But even if all you do is go through all the points and say to yourself, I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. I deeply and completely love, honor, and accept myself. While you're touching and tapping on all of those meridian points, it will shift you. It will stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system. It will get you out of one situation and into another. Find a way to disengage in that moment and walk away. Um, you're going to come back with a fresh perspective. I promise, because that's just what happens when you catch yourself hitting a wall, banging your head against a wall. You're frustrated. You're stuck. Your behavior. It's when you wake up and you think today's going to be shitty, and then everything's shitty. Like disengage. Start over. How about that? This work, this time that you take for yourself, showing up for yourself, um, it is a gift for everyone in your life. It is a gift for your loved ones, your clients, the people that you care about, because it is a priority to make yourself a priority. And there are things you can do, even if the situation is unfixable, and navigating into how to take radical responsibility for yourself is the answer. Before we go, I want to pull a Create Brave card. This is a deck of manifestation cards that I co-created with my friend Rachel. So we treat them like oracle cards or affirmation cards. They're beautiful. They're fun. I just shuffle until the card that is meant for me today finds me. And inevitably, this is the perfect fit for whatever we're talking about, whatever our topic is. Again, if you are curious and you'd like a set, there's the card. There she is, girls and boys. If you'd like a set of Create Brave cards, you can get those on my website as well. Follow the link in my bio. They are right there. And I'll even send you a personal note. Today's card is authenticity. I am the most honest version of myself. I needed this today because it's pushing me over the edge on doing the tapping with the group, which I have been really unsure about. Except authentic me breaks the fucking rules. Authentic me builds it in a way that feels good to me, and it doesn't matter what the norms are. And the people who like it will love it, and the people who don't, that's okay. Go on. We don't need you to love it. It's fine, right? Authenticity is me coming on here every Thursday and sharing a new way that you can step out of fear and into bravery to show up for yourself, to choose yourself bravely. Authenticity for me is talking about the work that I do because I can't help you help yourself if you don't know what I offer. That's scary though, it's hard. Coming on here and doing this is not an easy thing. It might look easy, but it is not easy. And some days I don't feel like it. But I show up on Thursdays because I love you and I want to see you embody joy and choose peace and choose yourself. I know that you have everything you need. You have the answers, and I have some tools and some resources that can just help you untap that. When you see this card, authenticity, I am the most honest version of myself. What shows up for you? What is it telling you? What are you learning when you stop going, and slow down and listen? What does it mean to be authentic for you today in this moment? Where are you avoiding authenticity? Where is it time to lean in bigger? Trust yourself. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Um, it's a treat, it's a joy, it's a pleasure for me to get to spend time with you. And for those of you who said yes to showing up in this space, I hope something lit you up. I hope you'll stay connected. Come to my weekly office hours on Tuesdays, 12 p.m. You can find the link for that in my bio. Come next Thursday for the live show. I'll be here. Find a way to connect. I want to see you in. And I want to remind you today and every single day to go out and choose yourself bravely. That's your job. Choose yourself bravely. I'm Heather Vickery. Thank you so much. Take care. I'll talk to you all soon. Um, bye.